English Vinglish is a classic. Today I can say it with a lot of pride. It's one of the few classics of Indian cinema, and it will stay a classic for a long time. But before it became one, nobody knew it. Nobody was willing to make it. Nobody was willing to produce it. People wanted to kind of, do it in different ways and for much lesser budgets and things like that, because on paper, in our industry, on paper, a lot of things are not affordable. So it requires the conviction of a director and a writer to want to do it in a certain way. And a film is not worth making unless made in the way that it's meant to be made. Actually, don't make the film at all. English Vinglish is special, of course, firstly and foremost because of Sridevi. Not because it was a comeback film, because I don't think comeback is the right word for a talent like Sri. She was always there, she just chose not to be there. And she just decided to appear one day. But because in her, we found one of our dearest, possibly our dearest friend, a family that we love tremendously. And she gave us so much of love, so much of affection, that she became a part of us, and we became a part of her. We were much closer than just filmmakers and an actor. And it's a relationship that stayed that way till the end. I miss her tremendously, and so does everybody in the team. But she's always there. She's so fresh. I think she's the funniest person around, and I can just imagine that. I can just remember every incident with her on the shoot, and after that, and much after English Vinglish. And she'd have loved to kind of be here today, and I'm sure. Thank you, Kushi. Thank you, Boney, for being here. On her behalf, she's truly the most special part of English Vinglish. Secondly, I think an incredible, sorry, is my popcorn. An incredible team of people. Lakshman, God knows what will happen. Incredible camera, the man behind the camera and the man kind of who held it all together. And of course, Hemanti and the whole cast crew. Rasool's not here, but Rasool, Amit, Swanand, so many people who, I don't know if I'm sure there are a lot of people here. And thanks so much to, firstly, Boney, for making sure that Eros bought the film. Money on it. And thank you, Boney. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. But I must ask Boney and Kushi to please come and say a few words on this particular day, because Boney was the first person I met on English Vinglish, and through Boney is when I met Sri. Kushi was too small. She was a little girl at the shoot. She was a little baby, and I had to make her help across the road in the few days she was there. She's now a big girl. So both of you come over and please have a chat with us.
I don't have much to say beyond a big thank you to Gauri Balki. You heard him say all the good things. But the best thing was this film which happened to her and to all of us. And I'm sure her fans who've always loved her, given her love. I wish she was here. Thank you, Gauri. Thank you, Balki.
Thank you, Boney. Thank you.
Gauri, let's start with you. And tell us about this date, this first date that you had with Sridevi.
Yeah, I always, I refer to it as a blind date because that was the first time I met her. So briefly, to give you a background, Balki had met Boney for some other film conversation or something, and Sri happened to be there. And Balki said, I'm not doing a film right now, it's my wife who's doing a film. And Sri just was intrigued and asked him, can you tell me what this is about? And Balki gave her a one-liner of English Vinglish, and she was very intrigued. She wanted to know more, and she said, can I hear the story. And next thing, of course, I've put on my clothes and I'm in her house and with my script. And she was there, so lovely, simple, and she sat there. I loved her energy instantly. And I narrated the script to her. As soon as I finished narrating, she looked at me and said, Gauri, I don't know about you, I would like to do this. And I was like, I mean, of course, whatever. And I think, which is why I say I call it a date, because I fell in love with her, and I think both of us kind of fell in love with each other. At that point, there was an instant connection beyond, and it has been like that, beyond actor director. And I think that's what also sort of comes out in the film, because that bond, connection, understanding of the scene, performances, the nuances, all was just because we were so in sync. And so was the whole team. It started with the two of us, and yeah, that was first love.
Well, I can relate to that because ek to I feel so privileged that I was given this opportunity to just be around her and then be part of this film, which is so special. And now 10 years later, I'm here. So, I mean, this too is an honor to be able to do this. I relate to what you're saying because when Gauri called me and she said, would you be interested in kind of this sort of, job profile, supervising, being sort of the dialogue coach for Sridevi. So I was like, for who? What? So she said, let's go and meet her and we'll go over to her house. And we went to her house and that's how I felt, because I was that kid who watched Lamhe 13 times in Bandra talkies, just to kind of see how she jumps on those grapes, which are, So for me, it was like when I was there and I was rather quiet and in the background. And finally, my first question to her was, what should I call you? So she said, call me Shri. So I said, how can I call you Shri? She said, because it's my name. So please call me that. Moving from there, the whole, she was the leader of the pack in that sense with the cast, but the whole ensemble, tell us something about getting this madcap but brilliant group together.
I was really lucky that this doesn't usually happen, where every peg gets so correctly cast, and the energy of the entire team, every person from the crew to the cast, it was like, so much in sync. And I think, I don't know what it was, that it just happened, starting with Shri, and then everything and everyone falling in place. So yeah, the first person, Lakshman, of course, because you need your partner. It's like a marriage, literally, on film, where, if we both are not in sync, nothing can. We didn't fight also, no? No, never. So
I used to be quiet.
okay, so it was one way, clearly. So, so I've worked with Lakshman in ad films before. And, we really got along. Again, it's like that. I work with people I have a good energy with, and I've always liked his energy, and we've got along really well and liked his work, of course. So he was very enthusiastic as soon as I said, I have this film. And he said, yeah, I want to work. Well, first, no feature? No. Okay, forget. We'll call it for Anyway, so he was very excited, and that's how he came on board. And okay, so I'll quickly just say how the rest of them. So Anand had worked with Balki on Pa, and I just stole him from there. And Amit Trivedi, again, I was dying to work with, and that's how Amit happened. Hemanti's work I had seen, and I really wanted to work with her, so that's why. And Rasool, it was so, we were lucky to have gotten him. This was my first film. He was an Oscar winner, and he just, again, oh, Sridevi ma'am's film, of course I'm doing this. So yeah, so we had an Oscar winner on board.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.